welcome to the Surrey Decides results broadcast. We are here upstairs from Harry's Bar in Rubik's, and we are waiting. The results have been counted up. We can confirm. Voting closed at 6 p.m. earlier today, so if you don't have that chance to vote, well, it's too late, I'm sorry, but we should be hearing the results very shortly. In the meanwhile, I myself, Dil Azam, am here with my pundits from across the medias and beyond here at the University of Surrey. I have Pete Ferguson here from the Stag, Bethany Dawson from Insight, and Councillor James Steele from Guildford Borough Council, I believe is the correct council.
It's the correct
council.
council.
It is, yes. There's two councils, isn't there? What's the other council?
Surrey County Council.
Surrey County Council. You're from Guildford Borough Council, though. So we want to begin by welcoming you all. You may not necessarily know what Surrey Decides is. You may have tuned in just to this live stream. What were you doing for the last week and a half? But that's fine. We're here to inform. So my question to you guys, first of all, is what is the Students' Union, University of Students' Union? What is it? What do they do? Who are they? Anyone? Bethany?
So the Students' Union is the elected body representing all students here at the University of Surrey. Every university has its Students' Union. Our Students' Union is split into 5 different zones. You have the Central Zone, which hosts the Union Chair and the President. The Union Chair oversees how the union works, and the President looks after all students and all of their needs. You then have the Support Zone, which is headed by VP Support, and then has 5 Support Zone part-time officers. Support Zone looks after all things to do with well-being and things that making sure you're doing okay. Community is the next zone, which is headed by VP Community and 5 part-time officers. Community deals with everything. 4 part-time officers. Community zone, and then 1 rag chair.
Rag chair is a part-time officer.
That is a part-time officer, but they're not. It's different. And
we'll go through this as we break down the individual zones.
Yeah, this
as
is
we
a
crack
quick
on with this.
It could get better if one candidate wins in the VP community race with the amount of chairs in those zones.
You then have activity, which deals with the activities, your sports and your societies. That's headed by VP activity. Within that, you then have Team Surrey Chair.
Surrey Society's chair.
Surrey Society's chair.
Collectively, we all know, yes.
Yeah, it's changed. And then 3 part-time zone.
3 activity zone members.
Activity
yes.
zone. And that's all of them.
No.
Have I gone through all of them?
Zone.
Voice. Deals with all things student democracy, and that has 1 VP voice and then 5 part-time officers.
Thank you there for that brilliant recital of knowledge there, Bethany.
It's shaky.
So now these zones, they seem quite broad. What do they mean? Let's expand on them. Let's start with support. What does support mean? Can we expand on that a bit further, please?
So, as you may have guessed, we're at the end of Surrey Decides, and the zones can change a lot of what they mean depending on who's running them. So, each of the candidates for Vice President support will have different visions for what the support zone should mean to students and how they will use the union's resources to influence that. And so, generally, as Beth said earlier, it is about ensuring well-being, but also more practical things such as academic referrals and academic advice and accessibility on campus. But if a candidate were to say they want to run on this radical idea to turn support into something more abrasive with union management, university management, they might decide that support actually is about supporting students through exam timetabling. So depending on how you run and if you get elected, you can have the mandate to change the zone to what you want it to be.
There's also, it's important to note that the zones collaborate. So even though they do have their own specific remits, something like timetabling, there was a few things, I want to say it was last year, about exam timetabling for students with specific religious observances, so not having to do exams during like Ramadan or other religious holidays. I can't remember. It'll come to me. I'll let you know. And that can be voice and that can be support collaborating together. So there should be a lot of cross-zone collaboration to make the student life.
There's also cross-zone collaboration with varsity because it's a mixture of both activity and also community coming together.
The community is one that actually many students is probably the one that they're most likely interact with because they oversee the events on campus. Could we talk a bit more about community, please?
Community. So, of course, the main thing that community has sort of overall see over, of course, is Rubik's. And the events that take place on there, it's usually the VP community that helps put together the Freshers Week activities, the Freshers Week events that take place at the night. Community also deals with volunteering, so a lot of students, of course, volunteer in the local community via the volunteering website. That's another thing that community would have control over. And also community also deals with community relations with residents in and around the area to ensure that there is a cohesive student life, and that also leads on to sort of dealing with different stakeholders in the local area with that as well.
And then following on from that, I'm literally just rattling through all the different zones in a bit more detail. Like activity zone, so if you've ever been part of a society or a club, it very much falls under the remit of the activity zone. And the activity zone, different to all the other zones in terms of their structure, they have 2 specific executive committee positions. So the executive committee, can someone explain what the executive committee is?
I'm happy to take this one. I know you want to, councillor. So exec is one of the committees of the union which makes political decisions. So all of the vice presidents, the union chair, and the top 2 highest voted part-time officers of each zone, with the exception of activity and community, who have designated positions such as RAG chair, Team Surrey chair, and societies chair. They all sit on the executive panel, which I believe is roughly about once a month, but it's subject to the union chairs.
I think it's once every 3 weeks. It's been for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but it is the union chair's discretion to organise this, and it's a combination of trying to engage students where they can put forward motions to make political change, and also to have elements of accountability. So it will always end with any other business, and officers can be expected to give reports on what they've done that week or ongoing progress updates. But if you are elected to exec, you have more political power in the union than if you're a part-time officer without exec rights.
Yes, and so if you candidates running for society's chair and Team Surrey chair will automatically sit on the candidates who successfully win would automatically then sit on the exec. And so you may, if you are part of a club or society, interact with these candidates a bit more, as the society chair will run the society's forum, what do they call it? Society standing, and then we have the club standing, which is the sports equivalent of that, where all the societies and clubs.
Yeah.
Is that
sports
the
standing and society standing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if you're a society, their job is to oversee societies and make your life easier and help you with admin work and be a point of contact within the union for you to, as someone who runs a society, to engage and get some help if need be. Or advice or how to run a society, very important. And the same likewise with clubs, just on the other side of that. Team Surrey chair also collaborating with the Surrey Sports Park, and we saw that's quite a big role, especially for VP activity.
I think if I remember correctly, it's the Surrey Society's chair and the Team Surrey's chair sit on the transport committee about buses, if I remember from my bylaw reading from last year. It was a fun little committee I found out.
That's an important note, actually. A lot of the different VPs sit on different committees. So VP support sits on accessibility and inclusion, wellbeing committees. There's also an estates and management, and I want to say it's community and support that sit on it. I might be wrong, but for different, the university and the union collaborate in that way.
And finally, out of the 4 specific zones, we have the voice zone. Now, as you said, Bethany, the voice zone, they deal with all things more academia related, with appeals, with exam timetabling, and providing a platform for any student at the university to raise their voice and make speak up about an issue or something they're concerned about in the university, and have that directly fed through panels like the Student Voice Forum, where they can directly communicate with the executive branch of the university to appeal to make these changes.
They are also theoretically the zone that deals with student engagement with national and local or international politics. So should be dealing with engagement on council elections and general elections, EU elections, all sorts of fun stuff like that.
There's also the zone that controls Surrey Decides as well. In terms of the
which we saw a lot of in the debates. I think it was a presidential debate where AJ, the current VP voice, was ranked president, was being quizzed about the oversight of Surrey Decides and it was mentioned several times that VP Voice is responsible for the running of this. So yeah, when we have general elections or local elections, you should normally see stalls in the library trying to encourage people to vote and or register to vote. And you see this to different extents at each election, but it's VP Voices and the Voice Zone's decision and oversight to make sure this happens.
The Voice Zone also, the VP Voice also oversees all the course reps. Now, every single course across all years will have a course rep, so make sure you know whose yours is. But yes, the course reps, they will receive training and support from the VP Voice, and they'll be asked to attend the Student Voice forums that take place a few times a semester. But they are open to all students to attend. And then the Central Zone, we have our two last positions. We have the Union Chair and we have President. So Union Chair is the only Board of Trustee position that is part-time. It's run by, it's taken over by a student who is still a full-time student. James, you ran for Union Chair at one point.
I have last year,
So
yeah.
you should know then the importance of the Union Chair and what the role entails. Could you expand on that, please?
Well, it's one of the oldest positions in the union has. It's as old as president in terms of its length, like all the other positions, barring president and union chair.
By way of context in that, the union had a rejig.
Yeah,
in
that's what I mean.
Was it, but
2014, it changed from a portfolio-based system to a zonal-based system, the 2024 document.
Yeah.
So it's a very old position, and its main purpose really is to hold all the elected officers to account and to ensure that there is good corporate governance being run of the union. It's one of those weird positions where every other elected officer is very outwards looking in its perspective at the university, at the council, at all the different stakeholder groups. But the union chair's key purpose is to look at the union, look at the way the union is currently being run, and ensure that there is a smooth running of the union. So it's a very unique position and can be a very much a position that those that like that nitty-gritty detail, those sort of, like say bylaws or
you have to be a very specific person.
Very specific person. You got to be looking through things with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that good governance is being run through the union.
Right, brilliant. So now we're going to head over. We've got obviously the president. The president oversees the whole union. We don't have any more time right now. We are heading over to Harry's for the first set of results. So I'm waiting for the cue from my producers, who has ran off.
It's just too exciting.
So yeah, well let's hold on to this. Let's expand on the role of president. The president is a rather large role. You're leading the union from the top. You're overseeing all the zones that are encompassed within the Central Zone, and the sort of characteristics of any union president is ultimately, you could say, the characteristics of the union itself. What do you have to say about that, folks?
Well, the president, while they are the figurehead of the union, or at least the elected members of the union, they are on equal standing with the other sabbatical officers. So they're on the same wage, they work in the same shared office space, and when it comes to an exec vote, the president normally doesn't vote, am I correct? Or is
no, the president votes. It's the union chair doesn't vote, and then if it's a tie, the union chair will have the casting vote.
But the president has an equal vote to all the other VPs. So in a way, they are very much the figurehead of the union, but VP support can carry just as much power as the president in a split decision.
Thank you.
The thing is, usually most media inquiries will go straight to the president for outward-facing media. They'll be the ones that will most likely go to big events at the House of Lords and whatnot to do with education.
You could carry on talking, or you could listen to the results. It's optional.
We've got results.
It's rather unsurprising.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. Please welcome to the stage your VP Support and Acting President, Sarah Sargent.
So, hi everyone. I'll be announcing the results for the So Decides 2020 elections. Just before I start, I just want to say a massive thank you to a lot of people. Firstly, Ian Lip and all stage crew, especially Heather and James, you have been amazing. None of this would have been possible without you, so thank you so much. A very big thank you to Alan Sutherland and our pundits. Thank you to Hannah Jones and Alex Harden in the Voice Zone. Thank you to Lisa Lynch and all the comms teams. And of course, our student chairs. And lastly, thank you to all the voters and all the candidates. The turnout is 3,408. So thank you to everyone who took part. So in last week's newsletter, we asked if you would like the result announced by zone or part-time versus full-times, and you answered by zone. So I'm going to announce the result for support, then community, then activity, then voice, then unit chair, then president. So let's start off with the support zone. So in the first round, and taking the first exact position, Hatche was elected. In the second round, Ron and Ellie were eliminated. In the third round, taking the second exact position, Hussein was elected. In the fourth round, Julia was eliminated and Gabby was elected. In the fifth round, Beth Stone was eliminated, Lucy Robinson and Izzy Ross took the remaining places. So your support zone next year are Hatche, Hussein, Gabby, Lucy and Izzy. So for VP support, in the first round, Ron and Sophie were eliminated. In the second round, Christine was eliminated. In the final round, with 1,048 votes to 987, your next VP support is Aaron. And now for the community zone. So in the first round, taking the only exact position, Nathaniel was elected. In that round, Philip was also elected to the community zone. In the second round, Dave was elected. In the third round, John and Ron were eliminated. Rachel was elected. Your community zone for next year is now Nat, Dave, Philip, and Rachel. Now for RAC chair, in the first round, Adisuya was elected with 1,736 votes. And now for VP community. So, in the first round, with 1,300 votes to 939, Izzy was elected. So your next VP community is Izzy. And now for the activity zone. So in the first round, Amy was elected with 876 votes. In the second round, Mike was elected. In the third round, Brendan was elected and Elliot was eliminated. So your activity zone next year are Amy, Brendan, and Mike. And now for Surrey Society's chair. In the first round, with 1,318 votes, Ellen was elected. And for Team Surrey chair, in the first round, with 1,346 votes to 582, Diana was elected. So your next Team Surrey chair is Diana. And now for VP activity. In the first round, Ron and Talia were eliminated. In the second round, Mason was eliminated. In the third round, Luke was eliminated. And now in the final round, with 843 votes to 765, your next VP activity is Maya. And now for the voice zone. So for the voice zone, in the first round, Megan and then Joel were both elected to exec. In the second round, Lester and Renee were elected. In the third round, Russell was elected. So your voice zone next year are Megan, Joel, Lester, Renee, and Russell. And now for VP voice. So for VP voice, in the first round, with 1,364 votes to 907, your next VP voice is Theo. And now for union chair. So, in the first round, with 1,395 votes to 948, your next union chair is Amina. And now for the one we've all been waiting for, your next union president. So, with 1,463 votes to 1,391, which makes a difference of just 72 votes, your next union president is Lizzie. Thank you so much to everyone, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Orlando. This is the post-results talk chat. We're here with our newly elected VP community, with Izzy, Maya with VP activity, and still with Beth.
Hi.
So, how do you guys feel? Go through your emotions and everything.
I'm shocked really, because I was so tired after 6 p.m. I literally was campaigning to the last minute. Decided I was gonna go home, was cooking a pizza, and I forgot to turn the oven on. So by the time I ate my pizza, I actually came as soon as I heard my name being called out. And I didn't know if I won or not, so I was like, is it me? And everyone was like, yeah. So I'm shocked. That's it.
Izzy?
Likewise.
There's a mic right there.
No, likewise. I'm speechless. but frankly, I'm just so grateful to
Over the
students
last
who
few
voted.
years, you've been trying to run for VP community.
I've run a few times,
Yeah.
and I'm just grateful that my tenacity paid off this time. Thank you.
Aaron, if you want to join in. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron, if you actually could move this side so that we can have you come in here. No?
Yeah, I was.
It's a great time.
Where should I sit? I feel like
Anyways, Aaron, Aaron, go through your emotions. How do you feel right now?
I can't explain it. All I can say is just thank you.
Okay, if you all sort of shuffle in.
Live?
Yeah, it is live. You're on live.
Don't swear on live TV.
All I can say is thank you so much.
All emotions are running really, really high.
Not want it anyway. Sorry, Izzy, I'm sort of stealing you.
Welcome to your new subs. You have Theo, VP Voice, Lizzie, your newly elected union president, Erin, VP
support.
What are you doing again, mate? So, everyone, tell us how you feel right now and what are you looking forward for next year?
I'm just astonished. I didn't think I was. I'm so nervous. I'm just so grateful. Thank you to everyone who voted. What fantastic committee we're gonna have next year. And honestly, just thank you for all your support. I literally can't say anything more.
I think
Hang on, go around the other way.
I had an absolutely amazing campaign with AJ. She's been an absolutely fabulous VP voice, and she would have been an amazing president. Having only 70 votes in it was mental, but I am so glad I'm here next year. And I know all these people. Obviously, I've been in the zone with Maya. I've campaigned with Aaron. I've worked with Theo, and Izzy's just an amazing person. So I'm over the moon, absolutely over the moon.
Theo,
Sorry, what was the question again?
how do you feel and what are you looking forward for next year?
I feel great, man. I'm really happy. I'm super pleased everyone thought I was up to the task. Makes me feel like I've done a half decent job this year as well. What am I looking for? I'm looking forward to doing Surrey Decides again and not having to campaign.
We could just sit behind.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited to have. I've never had a job. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just excited to have a job and not be unemployed. And yeah.
Maya?
Honestly, I'm just so excited to get started, really. I can't wait. It's something I've really looked forward to. I can't thank everyone enough that voted. I think everyone's sitting here you do your best in your campaign, but you're not actually sure whether you're going to win, and you always have that doubt in you. And I walked in and I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening. And I think all of us had a bit of tears in our eyes. It's such an overwhelming feeling of appreciation, I think. And I don't think that's going to go away. So I think I definitely want to make everyone proud. They voted for me, so I owe it to them.
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, Freshers Week is going to be amazing. I'm just thinking now of us going around all the halls during moving weekend. Oh my gosh, just everything's going to be so exciting. And I still can't speak. I'm kind of in shock still. I can't believe it's happened, but there's so many exciting things that are going to happen in the next year, and we're going to be the best sub team that Surrey's ever seen.
Too right.
Between the three of you, give me 3 words to describe this new subs.
There's 5 of us.
I mean, yeah, 3 words.
Oh.
3 words, sorry.
Oh.
Between you two, what do you think is going to happen? How are you going to describe yourselves in 3 words?
I'd say dynamic.
Mhm.
We're all from completely different backgrounds. We've all got completely different passions. Enthusiastic. I saw everyone's reactions to winning today, and there was cheers and tears and everything. But also, they're also approachable. I think obviously one of the core uni values is approachability. That I'd happily go to any of these to chat about anything, and I have done as well.
Yeah.
They're probably my 3 words.
Evan?
Yeah, it's very much the same. Instead of dynamic, I'd say variety. Like no two people are the same here. No two people come from the same background, so we have a wide range to cover. I mean, we're definitely all excitable.
You can tell that from campaigning this week.
And 100% we're all determined. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a killer team. That's what I'm saying.
Theo?
Words are hard right now, I'm not gonna lie. I agree about what Lizzie said about approachability. I think, I like to think I'm a friendly kind of guy and people aren't scared to come and talk to me. Committed as well. I feel like, everyone's really going to be up for it next year and going to try really hard. That's 2. What? Someone give me a 3rd word. Yeah, we'll go with that as well, yeah.
Izzy?
I'm definitely going to say tenacious, because just from campaigning with these guys this week, Surrey Decides is hard. Like, it's a lot of fun, but it also takes a lot out of you. And if you if you really want a position, you've got to get out there, chat to students, show your passion. And I've seen all of these guys, really, working their hardest to push and, show students what they're passionate about. So I can expect, working in the union, sometimes we're going to face difficulties, trying to work with the university can be hard. So being tenacious is so important. And I can see that that's a trait that all these guys have. So tenacity.
Maya?
I think you guys have taken all the words.
There are no more words.
But you know what? There's another word. I think it's going to be really fun. I think the SAB team is. I'm so excited to get started working with them. It's going to be a fun year. We're all very diverse people, energetic, and we're so driven. So I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. Before we round up everything, do you think you can fulfill everything in your manifesto?
This is a question time, Orlando. Orlando for Union Chair 2K21.
Nah.
I'll give it a very good try. I mean, that's Amina's job. We've got to make sure. No, you can't come in. I didn't get to come here last year. No, you can't come. No, I'm joking. I just want to say discrimination against last year's union chair.
Amina, how do you feel if someone could give her a mic?
Excited to work with the new SAB team. I'm proud of all of you. Congratulations to everybody. I'm proud of every single one of
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. But I'm happy to work with the new SAB team.
You're talking.
Oh yeah, I'm talking to someone. I'm happy to work with all of you lot. You lot campaign hard. I can't wait to hold you to account. So get ready.
Well, I just asked the question actually, to all the SABs, will they be able to fulfill their manifesto? So
I believe I'll be able to fulfill my manifesto, and I'm pretty excited about my manifesto as well, because I have so many new ideas that I want to implement this year, especially to the union chair position, because it's kind of like a straight position, so it's kind of hard to bend it. But this year I'm going to make it, change it a little bit, make it Amina. Aminify it, yeah.
Lizzie?
I'd say at the end of the day, all our SAB elects were elected on our manifesto, so it's kind of our duty, and then Amina's job to make sure that we get it done. But I think everyone's manifestos are such strong points, and you can really see that it's reflected what the students want, and at the end of the day the students elected us, so they want that too. So I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I put those points on there because they're things that I like to do and I want to commit to doing them. I didn't put them on there to just please people, just to get elected in. I did it so that we can make the university a better place, and I'd love to think I can get every one of those done, and I'll try my best, as Theo said, to do the same.
So the one thing about my manifesto I really made sure about before I actually wrote it was that everything was feasible. I made sure I didn't overpromise, so that I know that this time next year Amina will be able to hold me accountable, and I'll be able to go around and tell her I've done it all. So that's the plan.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of passion for what I've put on my manifesto, and I'm confident in my abilities to work through it, and with the help of these guys, of course, I think we can definitely achieve it and more.
Well, to round things off, first of all, congratulations to all of
Thank
you for
you.
getting
Thank
yourself
you.
positions, and all the very best for 2020 to 2021. Thank you very much. We done?